YouTube, what's going on? What's going on? First ever attempt at a build slash theory craft guide. So take it easy on me. But any criticism, positive criticism, any tips, advice, greatly appreciated. But let's get to it. So Path of Exile 2 launched last night. A lot of fun. Boss fights are awesome. I ran with a good buddy of mine. Little duo run. He's a monk, which actually turned out to be pretty interesting. He's doing the bell build, so he drops a big bell on the ground, and when you hit the bell, it like bursts and like radiates AOE. Come to find out, a lot of my minions and my attacks can also make the bell ring and do a lot of damage. So a lot of fun. Anyways, I'm going Witch Infernalist, SRS build. I guess the old school guys call it the popcorn build. Pretty much everything about it is summoning raging spirits that when they get low health, they basically run in and explode for a percentage of their max health. And you get it to where it just chains and you're just constantly summoning and blowing everything up. It's a lot of fun. Build's going pretty good. I still need a couple things. I'm just into Act 2, so early game, but it's performing pretty well. As far as like my gear goes, not the best. I haven't had the best luck with drops. I've seen one legendary, which is okay. Like, I don't want to just steamroll the game. I want to be able to have a lot of fun, and I want to be able to grind and farm. I'm just running a scepter currently. It gives me the free 2 skeletal minions. They're kind of like my meat shields up front. Do a little bit of like kind of aggroing for me. Take some of the heat. And then I'm running a shield. I was doing a wand, but so far the wands to me have been pretty underwhelming. They give like a small little skill, but they're just underwhelming. So I thought maybe I would try a shield, get some extra stats, some extra maybe armor, a little more defensive until maybe I find a wand that makes me go wow. And then the rest of the gear, I think the biggest thing that I've been watching for the armor chest pieces can drop with plus spirit on it, which your spirit is needed to summon more skeletons. So currently I have a plus 31. I'm assuming as the game gets further, I get maybe some yellows or legendaries. You can maybe get like 100. I don't know yet, but that would be awesome because that would give you like 2, potentially 3 more like summons as far as minions. Rest of gear is kind of it's whatever. I'm just getting what I can find pretty much. But onto the build. So as soon as I equip the scepter, it automatically gives me skeleton warriors. So that's kind of why I'm running the scepter right now. It's free summons. The shield gives me raised shield. It's whatever. I might use it a little bit here and there. Right now I am using Unearth. I don't use it all the time, but it is pretty beneficial at certain points. I've found that you can't like summon everything that dies off the ground. Like I've been in some zones where like I think the desert, like there a lot of the mobs wouldn't like I couldn't like raise a lot of this like the mobs. Like right here the bones are glowing green. So if I just cast over it, it gives me like a little scorpion which runs in, fights, and then blows up. My main bread and butter right now, I'm using Flame Wall. As soon as I cast Flame Wall, it pops like 5 or 6 Raging Spirits like instantly. It's awesome. So basically, I just cast them and you can see all of them. I got 5 on that cast. I can cast another one, 10, boom, and then they just start running and attacking and blowing up. I think the main trigger to this build, correct me if I'm wrong, is I'm sorry, Raging Spirit is the minion instability. You want the minions to get low health so that they explode, and they explode in like an AoE radius for a percentage of health. So as you can see, dealing 15% of their maximum life is fire damage to surrounding enemies once they hit low life. I'm pretty sure when I first got this support gem, it was like 7% max life. So it's the percentage is going up pretty nice. So I'm hoping maybe at like, I think this gem's level 5 or level 6 right now. I'm hoping maybe like at 10 or 15, this is like 30, 35, 40%. And then if you can just juice up the max health of your minions, these Raging Spirits should pop for quite a bit of damage. And when you're just rapidly summoning them and then just blowing up, it sounds like a lot of fun. It's like a firecracker build pretty much. I'm in need of some buff gems. They're like one thing that I don't seem to get a lot of. Because I would like to put Infernal Legion here, which basically when my Raging Spirits summon, the Infernal Legion will basically siphon life from it. And I'm pretty sure it's like a 20% siphon. It's like 20% life like per second or something like that. So basically I summon my Raging Spirits. They just start losing life rapidly, which then triggers minion instability. And they just enrage, run in, and explode. So as they explode, I just summon more. And it's just a nonstop cycle of just destruction. You don't have to use Flame Wall. Without it, it just puts a straight line on the ground. I was doing it without. Okay, there we go. It just puts a straight wall. It still summons 5, no problem, no issue. It's up to you. I kind of like the Fortress because some of the like maps are like tighter. You have like corridors or like hallways and stuff. And I can cast this out and it basically just engulfs everything. But yeah, so pretty much 5 Raging Spirits. You can have 10 at a time, which is great. And then once I get the Infernal, what is it called? Oh yeah, the Infernal Legion gem, it'll be even better because right now they're surviving a little bit too long, so I'm not getting like the popcorn effect. They're not just summoning, dying, blowing up, summoning, dying, blowing up. So there's still work to be done. I'm just waiting to get the drops and the items. I'm also using Skeletal Arsonist. I'm kind of testing this to see. It's another like AoE explosion and their range, so they kind of stay alive longer than like my frontline brutes. And then I also put in Ignition, which gives them 100% more chance to ignite. So I'm kind of seeing if that'll also kind of constantly have a chance to keep triggering my Raging Spirits to keep spawning and blowing up and just keep the cycle going. And then I put Magnified Effect on it just to increase the area of effect by 40% more, a little more AoE. I'm not sure how well it's working. It's kind of hard. Like when I'm fighting, there's so much going on. It's kind of hard to tell if they're really spawning Raging Spirits or not. Once I hit level 31, I plan to go to a different skeleton. I think I'm going to go to the melee axe wielders and then keep boosting my spirit. I've only got 173 spirit, but keep boosting that up. And then hopefully I can have like 6, 7, 8, skeletal melee minions that are just out there just hacking away. Another damage skill that I'm using like secondary is Bone Storm. It's a really good debuff skill. Debuff enemies take an additional 17 to 26 damage. And then it's basically like a charge skill. You just hold it down and it charges and you just release, boom, boom. Everything that gets hit basically gets debuffed for 10 seconds. So if I have a big pack or a boss, I just smack it and then it's taking additional damage from everything, all my minions, my Raging Spirits, everything for 10 seconds. Pretty sweet. I enjoy it. And it has a 15% critical hit chance. On top of that, I will offer a minion from time to time, which is basically a curse aura. You can only have one at a time, but it has a 6-meter radius. So as long as I'm accurate with where I place it, it'll sit there for 6 seconds, and it grants 30% increased attack speed and cast speed to everything within the radius. And it also gives my minions 31% more damage. So awesome. Sit it on top of a boss, sit it on top of a big pack, and instant damage boost. As far as like support gens, I didn't see anything too crazy. These are kind of just minimal, like nice to haves. Minions within the radius get 30% all element resistance, and then I have energy shield recharge begins immediately as it's not interrupted by damage for 2 seconds, and it also helps with stunned. And then I'm also using vulnerability, which is like basically another curse, or it is a curse, I guess. It has a 6.4 second duration currently. And remember, my gems aren't very high. They're like 5, 6, 7s. So these will continue to get better and better and better. The stats and the buffs and debuffs will keep getting better and better. But anyways, this is a much smaller one. It has just a 1.7 meter radius. It's just on the floor. But it's pretty nasty. Hits against cursed enemies ignore 191 armor. So armor shredder. And then all my minions, all my raging spirits will just run in. It'll have reduced armor and just pop for even more. But yeah, this is kind of where I'm at right now. As far as the skill tree goes, or not the skill tree, but passive tree. Skill tree, either or. I guess it's not skill tree, but passive tree. I'm still testing with it. I think I was going kind of like minion damage increase, but because the raging spirits are so much based off of like max health, I'm going to reduce these. I'm just going to stick with the max minion health, 10%, 10%. I just came up over top for like increased cast speed. And then I kind of went more defensive here. I'm going into like a lot of like energy shield and stuff like that, maximum energy shield. And I came over here for more energy shield, which it's made me a lot more tanky. I can survive a lot more. And then my next plan, I'm going to come up here and over here. I'm going to pick up all these minion nodes. Everything, it just helps make everything revive faster. My frontline tanks, my arsonists, eventually my axe wielders, they'll all just die and revive way faster. And then as they revive, they'll keep giving like a little bit of health boost, 2%, to everything that is alive. This one's pretty juicy too. 40% increased max life, huge. That'll be great for my SRS build, my Raging Spirits. From here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to jump here and go straight up. And I'm going to come over here. And I might get some of these minion critical hit damage little nodes. I might come up here and kind of look into here for like the recoup damage life taken. But I think my main objective, like come up here, maybe hit a little bit of this. I'm going to come all the way over here. I want to get up here. Lord of Horrors, minions have 12% reduced reservation. Big. And then more max health, max health, max health. And then minions have 20% additional physical damage reduction. And then I can even come over here and it has more area effect. So like huge minion area. But that's kind of like, it's kind of my thoughts right now. A little breakdown, a little update. We'll run up here. Res a couple minions, find a little pack. Kind of show you. Eventually I want to get the buff gem, like cast on minion death, and I can kind of like chain everything without, I can kind of just AFK. I just haven't gotten it yet. See, everything just gets destroyed. Just keep casting. Everything blows up. Sit back. Relax. See, as soon as I do that offering, the pain offering, and sacrifice a minion, dude, the damage is crazy. But super easy. Firewall, boom, 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 spirits, firewall, more raging spirits. They do the work for you. Sit back, relax. Thank you. If you enjoy, check me out on Twitch. Call me Chubbs. That's where we're at. Have a good day.